Hey guys, it's Christina. Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be doing my top 10 5 stars of all time. Obviously, this might change in the next year, but I wanted to show you my top 10 books and what they're about and why I like them so much. So, let's get started. The first book is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I am a sucker for Second Chance and Friends to Lovers, which is exactly what this book is. Basically, the main character goes to the summer house when she's young, and she meets these two brothers, and they start, hanging out every summer, and so something happens one summer, and then they stop seeing each other, and then they have to see each other again. It has flashbacks and present time scenes, which I also love, and also the fact that it's based in a lake house. I don't know, just the vibes were immaculate while I was reading this. The next book is none other than Love in Other Words, Second Chance, Childhood Friends to Lovers. Kind of follows the same plotline. Something happens between the two where they stop talking for a while and then they communicate back together. And this book is poetic. It's funny though, I'm a reader, but I'm not very good with words and explaining books, so I'm really sorry if I'm doing a bad job. Just check Goodreads. But yeah, and I am so grateful I got the old cover. I don't mind the new cover, but I just think this is just the OG. The next book is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This is a thriller. I thought it was spooky and I didn't see much of it coming. I've read a fair share of thriller books and mystery books to where I'm like, okay, you can guess it sometimes. But Riley Sager does a really good job, and I really, really, really like his writing. It's basically about this woman who goes back to her cabin, again out of the lake. All these seem to be based out of a lake. I don't know. She has new neighbors across the lake, and she ends up spying on them, and that's when the book starts. Next book, I feel like can be a hot take. It follows the same theme as the two other romance books I read, but it is People We Meet on Vacation, again, Friends to Strangers to Lovers, Second Chance. But Emily Henry is actually just one of my favorite authors, and this just has to be one of my favorite books of hers. I still haven't read Happy Place because I'm waiting for the paperback. Yeah, this is again, something happens and then they have to meet again for a specific event. So bad at explaining books. The next book is a fantasy. I'm not good at explaining fantasy, so I would just encourage you to look it up for the fantasy books. This next book is Shadow and Bone. Especially the Shadow and Bone trilogy is so good. I just felt like I was in this world. I felt like I was in it. I'm not very good at imagining things while I'm reading, as I'm concentrating on reading the words, but this made me feel like I could visualize it and see everything that was happening. That's how good this book is in this trilogy. And anything by Lee Bardugo, like I said in my last video. The next book is none other than Better Than the Movies. This is a Friends to Lovers rom-com YA. This is hitting mainstream again on Book Talk. But I did read it the first time around. It became popular, and I fell in love with these characters in this book. I think my favorite part has to be the rom-com movie quotes on top of every chapter. Like this. Anyway, I think that's pretty iconic. I'm a rom-com girly when it comes to movies, so this felt like a rom-com movie as well. And Lynn Painter is just, I don't know, she puts something in her books that I'm immediately purchasing this. I don't know what it's about, but I'm writing it anyway. Just like I did with Betting on You, actually. The next book is also a romance, but it's changing the theme of Friends to Lovers. It is a bodyguard romance. It's the second book in the Twisted series, Twisted Games. And I think bodyguard romance just explains the whole thing. But I just love Reese. I think that's how you say his name. He's the best one out of all four of them. And I think Anna Huang is a really, really good author as well. So check her out. Now we're in my top 3. I just want to say 2 of these authors I respect with my, I would bow down to them. The third book is Say You Remember Me by Katie McGarry. And it's bad boy, good girl kind of trope, and it's in a small town, and she's the mayor's daughter, and he just got a juvie for something that he didn't really do. Anyway, this has crack in it, and it's giving summer of 2012 vibes, and I love it. The next book is, oh my gosh, Daisy Jones and the Six. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid, but this book, it sits in the back of my mind the whole time, especially with the whole Fleetwood Mac theory. I mean, it's not a theory, it's true. It was based on Fleetwood Mac, but like, I felt so much reading this book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, everything about this book was just like, it brings out every emotion out of you, every single one. And then having to watch the show, almost died. Anything Taylor Jenkins Reid writes, it is so poetic, so beautiful. And again, I would buy all of her books. I think I'm only missing, I have almost all of her books. I'm missing 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I have read, I just don't have. And I'm missing Carrie Soto Is Back, which is the only book I haven't read of hers. So, last but not least, the star of the show, Normal People. I don't do reads. I cannot for my life, not even with shows, except one show, which I talked about, Gilmore Girls. This book consumes every single bone in my body. Normal People, if I haven't said that already. For everybody, I get it, but it's for me and for the girlies. Just such a perfect book because it's imperfect. And the characters are perfect because they're imperfect. That's all I have to say. So these are all my top 10 books. I'm sure there's other honorable mentions that I cannot remember right now, but I hope you got some recs out of this. I know most of these are very, very, very popular. Hopefully you've read them. Let me know your opinion. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!